Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 5. There's a grace about her, a timelessness, one co-star once said of June Lockhart. That grace followed her through decades of television, film, and stage, a presence that felt like home to generations of audiences. June Lockhart, beloved by millions for her roles as Ruth Martin on Lassie and Dr. Maureen Robinson on Lost in Space, has passed away peacefully at the age of 100. Her passing marks the end of an era, but her warmth, resilience, and talent live on in every role she brought to life. A born performer raised by actors Jean and Kathleen Lockhart, June stepped onto the stage early. At just 8 years old, she appeared in the Metropolitan Opera. By her teens, she shared the screen with her parents in A Christmas Carol. Her talent shone brightest on television. As America's favorite TV mom in the 1950s and 60s, she brought steadiness and heart to the small screen. On Lassie, her gentle, reassuring presence became essential to the show's tone. Later on Lost in Space, she showed the strength and intelligence of Dr. Maureen Robinson, a pioneering portrayal of women in science fiction. Her stage work was just as remarkable. She earned a Tony Award for her Broadway debut and collected multiple honors including the Theatre World and Donaldson Awards. Off-camera, June was admired for her warmth and generosity. She mentored young actors, supported veterans and charities, and never stopped engaging with the creative community. Her kindness left a deep impression wherever she went. Tributes soon followed news of her passing. "She lit up every room," said actress and friend Angela Cartwright. "There was no one like her." June Lockhart's legacy is carried on by her daughter, Anne Lockhart, and the countless lives she touched through her work. While memorial details remain private, her impact will echo for years to come. She left us quietly, surrounded by peace, after a century filled with stardust and purpose. Tributes to June Lockhart. Number 4. There was always something in her phrasing that could break your heart, recalled a fellow musician. Benita Valente, celebrated for the purity of her voice and depth of expression, has passed away at 91. She died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. Her presence on stage was sublime. Her 1973 debut at the Metropolitan Opera as Pamina in Mozart's Die Zauberflöte marked a career-defining moment. Audiences were immediately captivated. She went on to perform roles like Gilda, Susanna, Ninetta, and Ilya with elegance and ease. Benita's artistry wasn't limited to the opera stage. She brought the same rich emotion to chamber music, oratorio, and concert work, performing with every major orchestra across North America and Europe. Legendary conductors, such as Leonard Bernstein and Claudio Abbado, valued her deep musical understanding. Her repertoire stretched from Monteverdi to contemporary works. She embraced living composers, often premiering new music and bringing fresh voices to the world stage. An interpreter of Schubert and Ginastera alike, she navigated styles with integrity and heart. Teaching came as naturally to her as performing. She mentored many young artists through programs like the Metropolitan Opera's Lindemann Young Artist Development Program and the European Mozart Academy. Her wisdom and grace shaped future generations of singers. Offstage, Benita was known for her kindness and generosity. She spoke gently, but her influence was profound. Many who worked with her remember her laughter, her humility, and her unwavering devotion to music. Conductor Daniel Barenboim once said, "Singers like Benita remind us that beauty isn't just sound, it's soul." Her passing has left the classical community mourning, but her spirit continues through recordings, memories, and the voices she helped shape. Benita Valente gave us music that will never fade. Tributes to Benita Valente. Number 3. His passion and belief will continue to guide and inspire for generations to come. Those words from acting minister David Neo capture the heart of John Miksic, a man whose life shaped how we understand Southeast Asia's ancient past. John Miksic passed away peacefully at the age of 79 after illness, surrounded by love and respect from both family and professional communities. His legacy is not just written in books or housed in museums, but etched into the ground he helped to rediscover. Born in rural New York, young John's curiosity began on his family's farm, where digging for arrowheads with his grandfather planted the seeds of an extraordinary life. That journey led him across oceans and centuries, eventually transforming Singapore's sense of its own story. He made history in 1984 by leading the first proper archaeological excavation in Singapore. The dig at Fort Canning unearthed artifacts from a 14th century settlement, changing the national narrative forever. No longer just a colonial port, Singapore had deep regional roots, thanks in large part to John's work. His book, Singapore and the Silk Road of the Sea, became a landmark, earning him the inaugural NUS Singapore History Prize. He showed how Singapore was connected to vast networks long before European ships arrived. Over the years, John led excavations at over a dozen major sites, from Empress Place to Parliament House. Pieces of history he uncovered now rest in public parks and gallery cases across the nation. He also chaired advisory panels, shaped national heritage policies, and mentored countless students. A recipient of the Public Service Medal, he remained active well into his final years, even during personal health struggles. Beyond the science, it was John's generosity and warmth that left a lasting mark. He listened deeply, taught patiently, and celebrated the joys of discovery with everyone around him. His wife, Dr. Go Geok Ian, and daughter Vanya survive him, alongside former students and colleagues who carry his mission forward. Around Southeast Asia and beyond, his legacy lives on in minds ignited and histories rewritten. John Miksic didn't simply study the past, he helped nations find their roots. Through heart, humility, and unwavering curiosity, he gave us the stories beneath our feet. Tributes to John Miksic. Number 2. Gérard Badini made jazz swing with heart and elegance, touching every stage he graced. Known to many as Mr. Swing, Gérard Badini brought joy, rhythm, and soul to generations through his deep love for jazz. He passed away peacefully at the age of 93, leaving behind a legacy that changed the sound of European and international jazz forever. Born into a family of musicians in Paris, Badini's journey began with opera and eventually found its home in jazz. As a teenager, inspired by the sounds of Charlie Parker and Louis Armstrong, he taught himself the clarinet. By the early 1950s, he was already sharing the stage with legends like Sidney Bechet. He would go on to play with icons including Duke Ellington, Stan Getz, and Helen Humes. In the 1950s, his collaborations with Claude Bolling shaped 2 decades of modern jazz performance across Europe. Badini didn't just play music, he built it. In 1973, he founded the Swing Machine, an ensemble that thrilled audiences in both Europe and the US. His time in New York from 1977 to 1979 marked a creative peak, where he played alongside Clark Terry and Reggie Workman. In 1984, he took jazz even further with the Super Swing Machine, a big band that redefined contemporary swing. That same drive for innovation led him to become a technical advisor for Henry Selmer Paris, helping develop the world-class Super Action 80 saxophone. His work won him the prestigious Boris Vian Prize in 1993 and the respect of countless peers. But Badini's true gift was how he made others feel, mentoring younger musicians, cheering on fellow performers, and welcoming audiences into every note. At the heart of it all was a quiet generosity and tireless commitment to his craft. He inspired not only fans across the world but also his own family. His son, Gérard Badini, now carries his name and passion forward, exploring new frontiers in music as a leading voice in the electro-sax genre. Gérard Badini passed away from natural causes, surrounded by those who cherished him. The world has lost a master of swing, a mentor, and a gentleman of music, but his sound, his warmth, and his rhythm live on. Tributes to Gérard Badini. What's trending on the internet? News 1. Imagine being in a situation where your quick thinking and bravery can change someone's life forever. That's exactly what happened in North Braddock, Pennsylvania, when a 15-year-old boy sprang into action to save his elderly neighbor from a house fire. The young hero, who has captured the hearts of many, demonstrated remarkable courage and compassion during this terrifying moment. His selfless act not only saved a life but also reminded us of the power of kindness and community spirit. This inspiring story stands as a testament to the impact one person can have on another's life. The community will always remember this young hero's bravery and selflessness, celebrating his actions as a shining example of what it means to look out for one another. News 2. Imagine enjoying a peaceful afternoon walk with your dog, only to be suddenly involved in a dramatic and unexpected event. This is precisely what happened to Tiffany Harrison, a woman who was walking her dog at Hartwell Park in Long Beach, California. On a sunny Tuesday afternoon, a small plane made an emergency landing on the soccer field, striking Tiffany in the process. What makes this story even more remarkable is that Tiffany is deaf and did not hear the plane coming. Tiffany suffered serious injuries, including a broken pelvis and multiple fractures along her spine. Her sister Brittany McFall shared that Tiffany underwent significant surgeries and is still recovering. The incident has left the community in shock, but it also highlights the resilience and strength of those affected. The pilot, an elderly man, was also injured and is receiving medical attention. The National Transportation Safety Board (NTSB) is investigating the cause of the crash, with indications that the plane's engine may have failed. As Tiffany heals, her story serves as a reminder of the importance of safety and the incredible power of community support during difficult times. Her courage and the efforts of those who rushed to her aid inspire us all, and we wish her a full and speedy recovery. Tiffany's story will be remembered not just for its dramatic circumstances, but for the hope and resilience it embodies. News 3. Drew Barrymore is opening up once again about a difficult chapter from her past that many might find hard to believe. The beloved actress and talk show host, who charmed audiences as Little Gertie in E.T. the Extraterrestrial, recently shared candid reflections about entering rehab at just 13 years old and attempting suicide at 14. In her 1990 autobiography Little Girl Lost, published when she was only 16, Drew revealed the shocking reality of her childhood. After achieving worldwide fame at 9 years old, she found herself in an environment that no child should experience. Her mother frequently took her to Studio 54, the famous New York nightclub known for its party scene, where Drew was exposed to adult behaviors far too early. By age 9, she was drinking alcohol. By 10, she was smoking marijuana regularly. And by 12, she had developed a cocaine addiction. The young star's life spiraled to the point where she entered her first rehabilitation center at 13. A year later, feeling trapped and desperate for attention rather than truly wanting to die, she cut her wrists. Drew has since explained that what she really wanted was to escape her situation and find the guidance she desperately needed. Her counselor during treatment, Betty Wyman, remembered Drew as being extremely unwell when she first arrived. The rehab program was highly structured, with school, group therapy sessions, and family counseling filling each day. Drew admitted she didn't take it seriously at first, but gradually began to recognize her addictive patterns and the emotions she had been suppressing with substances. At 15, Drew took the extraordinary step of legally emancipating herself from her mother and moving into her own apartment. This marked the beginning of her journey toward recovery and rebuilding her life. What makes Drew's story particularly compelling is her family history. Her grandfather, the legendary silent film star John Barrymore, struggled with alcoholism throughout his life and died from related complications. Her aunt Diana also battled addiction and tragically died from an overdose. Research suggests that Drew's genetic background may have increased her vulnerability to addiction by as much as 60%. Today, Drew Barrymore stands as a testament to the power of recovery and self-awareness. She rebuilt her relationships, including reconciling with her mother before repairing ties with her father before his passing. She surrounded herself with supportive friends and made conscious choices to avoid triggering situations. Now a successful businesswoman, producer, and host of her own talk show, Drew continues to speak openly about her experiences, offering hope and encouragement to anyone facing similar struggles. Her willingness to share her story without holding back has helped countless people understand that addiction is a medical condition, not a character flaw, and that recovery is possible with the right support and determination. Drew's journey from a troubled teenager to a thriving, accomplished woman reminds us all that our past doesn't have to define our future, and that with courage and commitment, we can overcome even the darkest moments to create lives filled with purpose, joy, and meaningful connections. News 4. Let's take a moment to honor the life of Winston Semple, a 29-year-old contractor from Plaisance, East Coast Demerara. While working with his colleague, 40-year-old Glendon Simpson, the two were unexpectedly caught in a sudden swarm of bees at a Triumph worksite. Thanks to quick-thinking neighbors, both men were rushed to Enmore Regional Hospital. Despite everyone's efforts, Winston sadly passed away, and Glendon remains in critical condition. Winston will be fondly remembered by his community for his dedication and hard work. In times of tragedy, it's heartwarming to see strangers lend a helping hand, a reminder of how compassion connects us. Today we send love and healing thoughts to all those affected. Winston's legacy of teamwork and kindness will not be forgotten. News 5. Let's take a moment to appreciate an inspiring story from Australia's beloved Irwin family. Robert Irwin, now 20, recently revealed a touching way he's come to understand his late father, Steve Irwin, the legendary crocodile hunter, a little better. Thanks to conversations with Oscar-winning actor Russell Crowe, who was a close friend of Steve's, Robert gained new insights into the passion and dedication that made his dad such a global icon. Robert shared how hearing Russell's stories about Steve's adventurous spirit and boundless energy helped him connect with his father's legacy, especially as Robert continues his own wildlife work at Australia Zoo. These heartfelt exchanges have brought the Irwin family even closer, reminding us all how friendships and memories can preserve a loved one's spirit for years to come. It's uplifting to see the next generation honoring Steve's remarkable legacy, not only through their commitment to wildlife conservation, but also by cherishing relationships that keep cherished stories alive. The world will always remember Steve Irwin as a pioneering conservationist and devoted family man, and now, thanks to Russell Crowe and the enduring bonds of friendship, Robert carries his father's spirit forward with pride and purpose. News 6. If you ever needed a reminder of just how amazing our everyday heroes can be, just listen to this. In Fort Worth, Texas, a terrifying crash on I-30 left a 1-year-old girl and her mother ejected from their vehicle, with the baby trapped beneath the overturned car. Thankfully, Officers Sergeant R. Nichols and Officer E. Bounds arrived within moments, joined by quick-thinking passers-by who all worked together to lift the heavy SUV and reach the infant. As every second counted, Sergeant Nichols began CPR while Officer Bounds assisted, all as the dramatic scene unfolded. Then, after tense moments, a beautiful sound, a baby's cry, let everyone know that the little girl was alive. Both she and her mother were rushed to the hospital, and even more heartening, doctors expect a full recovery. It's stories like these that remind us of the courage, compassion, and extraordinary instincts our first responders bring to the job every day. Today, Fort Worth is proud and a grateful family has their cherished little one back in their arms. These officers, and the Good Samaritans who jumped in to help, have shown us just how powerful community can be in a moment of crisis, and that's a lesson worth remembering. Number 1. Some people make you laugh. Mauro made you feel joy. That's how one close friend described Mauro Di Francesco, an actor who truly knew how to connect with people. Mauro passed away at the age of 74. He died peacefully after enduring ongoing health issues later in life. His journey, both personal and professional, was filled with humor, creativity, and courage. From his early days with Giorgio Strehler's theater company to his breakout on the Rai series La Freccianera, Mauro showed a gift for storytelling. But it was his work in Italian comedies that brought him into homes and hearts. Roles in Sapore di Mare, I ragazzi della 3AC, and Vado a vivere da solo are still quoted and loved to this day. His charm came not just from laughter but from depth. He could make you smile, then suddenly reveal something tender and real. That rare talent set him apart. He was more than a comic actor, he was a true artist. A member of the legendary Gruppo Repellente alongside Enzo Giannacci and Diego Abbatantuono, Mauro thrived surrounded by creative minds. He also explored painting and even published a book, showing the many sides of his curiosity. Mauro's personal journey wasn't without struggle. He faced liver disease and overcame alcoholism. Through it all, he remained open-hearted and hopeful. He became a spokesman for organ donation, turning pain into purpose. His love story with wife Antonella Palma di Fraiani began in the late 90s and lasted until the end. Alongside her and his son Daniel, he found his greatest joy. Diego Abbatantuono said, "Mauro made us laugh, yes, but also made us think. That's what made him great. The entertainment world has lost a true original. Whether on stage, screen, or canvas, Mauro Di Francesco left a legacy of laughter, honesty, and love. His spirit lives on in every smile his work still brings." Tributes to Mauro Di Francesco. She always was an angel. Now she has her wings. With those tender words, unruly child drummer Jay Shellen captured what so many felt about Marcy Free,